On the 25th of May, George Floyd was horrifically killed when a policeman knelt on him for nearly 9 minutes, suffocating him. Since then, protests have been raging throughout all 50 states of the United States, as part of the Black Lives Matter movement. Many of these protests were peaceful, calling on for justice to be served and an end to racism. However, many protests soon turned violent, with people burning and destroying property, and looting from shops. But who are really organizing these violent protests? There seems to be a coordination amongst extreme far-left groups, and there are reports of individuals from outside the communities coming to commit arson and violent acts. Antifa has been designated as a terrorist group by U.S. President Donald Trump, and the most common criticism is that they are not a group but an ideology of anti-facism. However, there is evidence to suggest that Antifa is an actual group, with a structured recruitment process, and organized meetings. In Minneapolis, where George Floyd was from, the Democratic Socialists of America works closely with Antifa-aligned groups. The DSA has been seen calling for revolution in the country, actively coordinating riots and using riots as a vehicle for revolution on their Twitter account. They also speak about promoting violence, and justifying the use of violence to riot. During the first wave of protests in Minneapolis, most of those who committed acts of violence were not even from Minneapolis, meaning they came from outside the state, and most of them were Caucasian, or non-black, raising suspicions that they are external agitators. CCP officials seized the chance to criticize the U.S. for having double standards, as the U.S. condemned the CCP's handling of the Hong Kong protests. This was despite the well-known racist and xenophobic treatment of black people in China. The protests in the U.S. have divided many opinions all over the world. Is the violence justified, or is the violence an insurrection that should be condemned? Let us know in the comments section.